Yo, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over the 4 things I wish I knew before learning Spanish. So the things we're going to go over today would have saved me time, made me feel less frustrated and overwhelmed, and made me learn Spanish in a shorter period of time. So as long as you stay here for all 4 of these things and you actually implement them, you're going to get these benefits right here. And by the way, if you don't know me, my name is Alex. I learned Spanish on my own at home. Went through a bunch of different methods and apps and stuff and really realized what works and what doesn't, and that's what I'm sharing on this channel. And now I'm living in beautiful Medellin, Colombia, and sharing my insights with you. So anyways, enough about me. Let's move into thing number 1. Thing number 1 is it's normal to forget. So in your journey, you're going to come across words, you're going to come across concepts, you're going to come across phrases, and you're going to look them up and you're going to learn them, or you're going to think you learned them, and then you're going to come across them again tomorrow, next week, next month, and you're going to realize that you don't remember what it means. And that's going to keep happening over and over again, and you just have to get used to it, and you have to understand that that's completely normal. Repetition is literally necessary for learning, so if you're repeating something over and over again, that's normal. You're a normal human being going through the normal learning process. So don't worry, you're not stupid. You're supposed to have to keep refreshing your memory. Okay, so don't let that discourage you. Okay, thing number 2 is skip instead of stop. So oftentimes in my journey, I would come across a concept, whether while I'm listening to something or when I'm trying to say something or while I'm studying or whatever, and I wouldn't really understand it. And I would look up videos and I would look up blog posts and I would do everything I could to learn it, but it just wouldn't stick. I just couldn't grasp it. And so I'd lose motivation and I'd end up not touching Spanish for like the next few days, next few weeks even. And I'd lose so much time because I would just let myself get discouraged. So what I started doing eventually was I would come across a concept, and no matter how curious I was to learn what it meant, no matter how unsatisfying it was to just let it go, I would let it go. I would detach it. I would say, I don't understand this right now, whatever, let's move on. And I would move on and I would still keep learning Spanish. I'd still keep doing stuff to improve my Spanish. And I can tell you from where I am right now, which is fully conversational in Spanish, is that everything that I skipped over at one point in my journey, I now understand, and it now makes complete sense to me. So it's just a matter of time and exposure. So if you don't understand it right away, don't get obsessed with it. Don't think you have to understand it today. You will eventually understand it as long as you don't quit the journey. All right, the next thing is avoid plateaus. So while it's normal that you're not always going to feel like you're making progress, you don't want to stay stuck in that feeling for too long. So I let myself stay stuck in that feeling for too long, and it wasn't until I really kept realizing like, okay, I don't feel like I made any progress, I feel like I'm making the same mistakes over and over, that I finally figured out, okay, what is it that I need to do to make progress? So if you feel that signal in your mind, in your heart, you feel like you're stuck or you haven't really made progress, you're plateauing, then start to brainstorm what you could do to up the challenge level so that you can up your skill level. Because realistically, if you haven't made any progress, it's because you haven't challenged yourself past the level that you're currently at. If you keep lifting the same weight, you're not going to grow. So apply that to your Spanish as well. And the 4th thing is listening is more important than you think. So this isn't to say that writing, reading, and speaking skills aren't important. They absolutely are. I've worked on those skills. I continue to work on those skills to this day. But I find that most people aren't doing listening comprehension exercises, and they're super important. Listening comprehension isn't just associated with your ability to listen and understand something. It's also going to help you be able to say something. So like when you do enough listening comprehension, you'll eventually start spitting out phrases and words that you don't even directly translate, but they're just there. They're in your mind, they're in your subconscious because of the listening comprehension work that you've done. Now, there's right and wrong ways to go about listening comprehension, and I go over that on this channel. But in a nutshell, if you're just blitzing rapid fire Spanish in your ears, if you're watching shows at full native levels without comprehending what they're saying, you're not going to learn anything. You're just going to waste time. You're going to get bored. It'll be like watching paint dry. You don't know what's going on. So you need to make sure it's comprehensible. And you want to make sure that the majority of the things you're hearing, you can at least somewhat understand. Not all of it, but at least some of it. Now, these are 4 important things if you're going at it on your own. But of course, the best way to fast track your progress is to have somebody who actually went through the journey themselves and can kind of coach you and guide you along the way and get you to the result of being conversational. So if you think you could use the accountability and the guidance, you can book a call using the link below in the description, and we'll see if it's a good fit for us to work together. And if we are, I'll make a custom plan for you and I'll literally guide you, hold your hand, and get you to the results you want of being conversational in Spanish. So link below if you want to apply to work with me while I still have some slots open. But if not, if you just want to go about it on your own, it's entirely possible. So to recap, if you do want to do that, the 4 things are: number 1, it's normal to forget. You're not stupid. That's completely normal. Repetition is necessary. Number 2, skip instead of stop. When you get stuck, don't let yourself actually get stuck. Just move past it. Ignore the thing. Detach. Number 3, avoid plateaus. So if you feel that signal getting stronger and stronger that you're not making progress, it's probably because you're not making progress. So up the challenge level and you'll see your skills improve. And number 4, listening is more important than you think. So do listening comprehension exercises. I'll be coming out with videos to train your listening comprehension, whether you're a beginner or intermediate or even more advanced. So subscribe if you want to see those. And yeah, that's all for this video. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.